Chairs No Waiting, episode number 727, Singing in Mayberry, Part 3. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the folks over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Drop by over at Weavers and pick up some of the great Mayberry items you'll find there. Hey, it's getting close to Mother's Day. Start thinking about it. You might want to get a Mayberry tea towel for mom or grandma or you, for that matter. They're really cool. Got all kinds of Mayberry things on there. And while you're at it, why don't you get her a Mayberry cookbook? That's right. You can get an Aunt B Mayberry cookbook hardcover. Go check it out over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners like you. The executive producers of episode number 727 is Larry and Ann Granger. And the Patreon patron of the week for 727 is Cody Sloan. So thank you, Cody. Thank you, Larry and Ann, for supporting the podcast. And thank you for being here as well. I'm Alan Houston, the host of Two Chairs No Waiting, and it is always fun to spend time visiting and talking and just having a good time here in Mayberry. And wow, we've got more stuff this week for us to all visit and talk about and just keep going. The last 2 weeks, we have been showing you videos from the Col Tim's event that happens each year at Mayberry Days. This one, though, is from 2002, and we've had a lot of singing. So it's been called Singing in Mayberry. Yeah, I know. I came up with the title. It's pretty obvious, I guess. But the first week, we saw Betty Lynn and Howard Morris singing. And then last week, episode 726, we got to hear from Maggie Peterson, Charlene herself, and again from Howard Morris, Ernest T. And so this week, we're going to get to hear, you're just not going to believe it, we're going to hear James Best, Jim's Lindsey himself, singing. He's probably not really going to sing, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get to see James Best and David Browning, the Mayberry Deputy, that we saw just not too long ago, about 15 episodes ago, in episode number 712. We had a thing like this. It was from Col Tim's in 2007, so 5 years after this is what we saw. And it's James and David interacting on stage during Col Tim's. And I know you're going to enjoy this. So I wanted to play this one as well. They did that routine together, I don't even know how many times, but it was so fun to watch. Every time it's different because they're kind of ad-libbing the whole thing. And that's what we're going to watch tonight. We're going to see those two amazing men, James Best, amazing actor, and David Browning as the Mayberry Deputy, amazing just talent from both of these guys. And to watch them work together and play off one another, wow, is always such a treat. If you're listening to this, I think you're going to enjoy it a lot, but I really always want to recommend you watch the video version of these episodes because you will get to see them interacting. But I'll describe to you really quick. They're on the stage at Col Tim's Talent Time in Mount Airy, North Carolina. This is from 2002, and they are in front of the curtain at the Andy Griffith Playhouse is where this is occurring. So you're going to see them, and then we're going to hear some real singing. Well, we're going to hear from Pink Floyd and the Cutups, and hopefully you'll have a laugh and enjoy yourself there. They got a great song they're going to give us. There's a Shop in Mayberry is the name of it, and the lyrics were by Lyle Fales. So guys, I hope you're going to enjoy it, and then we will play a little bit of trivia. So let's head on over there, and I believe we're going to throw this one to Floyd, who's going to introduce the upcoming act. So take it away, Floyd.
Yeah, it's my privilege to come out and introduce somebody that he's on the Andy Griffith show only 2 times, but he had a big impact, and he's been on all kinds of other shows. I mean, he's been on The Twilight Zone. He was in multiple movies. I believe he said today he was in over 600 television shows. So this is just somebody who has been here at Mayberry Days this weekend, and I've been privileged to be with him at other events. And he just really has that Mayberry spirit inside that just comes out when he's meeting the fans. You can see the love he has for you. And I just want to introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, guitar player Jim Lindsey, Mr. James Best.
Before I play Rock and Roll Rosie and Riley, I just want to tell you a couple of things, if I might indulge myself just a little bit. I was born in Kentucky, in a little town called Powderly, Kentucky, in Central City, and I was adopted when I was 4 years old, and I found out about 15 years ago that the Everly brothers were my real first cousins. And so, naturally, I came by my musical talents with genes, you know. I don't know which type of genes. But anyway, tonight I'm going to dazzle you with my guitar playing. Before I do, I just want to tell you how wonderful it is to be here. You know, back in Kentucky, I had a dear friend that I got to visit him just recently. I went down there to Bubba. And Bubba's really country. I mean, really country. I went over to see him, and he was so excited. I thought he was excited to see me. It wasn't me. He had cut his lawn and found his pickup truck. Bubba had just gotten married. I knew he'd married a beautiful country girl because there was tobacco stains on both sides of his truck door. I don't know how you got such a pretty girl. Bubba was ugly. Well, now that's unkind, but even his mama said he was ugly. In fact, Bubba was so ugly when he was young, when he was a baby, his mama couldn't stand to see his face and had to feed him across the room with a slingshot. Bubba had a brother. He wasn't quite as ugly. Bubba and his brother loved to eat possum. You know, they loved possum. It took both of them to eat one to eat while the other looked out for traffic. Hey, I'm not a stand-up comic. I'm a guitar player. I'm about to play it. Isn't this a beautiful instrument? I borrowed this. This is it looks sort of like a crocodile, but it plays very, very well. You know, my beautiful wife is here tonight. She's gorgeous, you know. And we have a few arguments. Everybody has a few arguments. In fact, I haven't spoken to my wife in 12 months. I didn't want to interrupt her. I told Bubba, I said, you know, I married an angel. He said, boy, you're lucky, mine's still alive. Rock and roll, Rosie and Riley. And he said, you know, marriage is a three-ring circus. You know, there is the engagement ring, there's the marriage ring, and then there's the supper ring. He admitted that the last fight they had was his fault, you know. His wife asked him what was on TV, and Bubba says, dust. You know, now that I'm playing this guitar as well as I do, which I will in a second or two, I write a few songs. You know, I don't write music, but I do write a few songs. I did write a couple that were recorded by a few popular singers. I did a lot of westerns. I don't know if you all know that. I did quite a few westerns. Gene Autry, Howard Long Cast, and all those people. Jimmy Stewart, and those people. Anyway, I love westerns. And so I wrote a song about a cowboy. And it's a little sad, so I don't mean to stop the levity with a sad song, but this is a very serious song. So it's very short, so I won't bore you because I'm not a singer. As you will soon find out. But I did write these lyrics. Now, you got to picture this. A cowboy has done something terrible, and they're going to hang him. And now they have built the gallows outside the jail. And the 13 steps up to death. And the hangman is waiting for him there with the noose. And there's a tremendous crowd gathered to witness the hanging. And so my song takes place as the cowboy stands up there and looks out across these people watching him hang. He says this to the hangman. Hangman, hangman, slack your rope, slack it for a while. I think I see my mother.
All right, buddy, I've got it. I can't put up with it anymore. Put that guitar down.
Listen, I haven't played rock and roll, Rosie.
And I don't believe you're going to play rock and roll, Rosie, because you ain't done it yet.
Well, who are you to tell me what to do?
I am the deputy here in this town, and I got to look after all these people out here.
Well, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, it should. I'm sending you off, buddy. You're out of here.
Listen. You think so?
You better believe
You know who I am.
it.
I know who you are.
You better believe you know who I am.
Barney Piccolo.
No, Barney Fife. Fife. F-I-F-E. Fife.
Don't you threaten me.
I'm not threatening you, buddy.
Listen, you know who I am.
I don't know who you are.
Well, I'm going to tell you who I am. I am Rush Col Tim. He is your superior officer.
Huh?
You're just a lousy deputy, and you're a pretend. How many bullets do you have in your gun?
I've got one bullet, buddy.
No, you don't have to show me. No.
I'm a prove to you that I'm a deputy. I'm a deputy in high standing.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can do
You
this.
couldn't high stand if you were standing on a ladder.
You beat everything. You know that. You beat everything. I'm going to give you a little test.
Oh, good.
You do this, I believe you're a high-ranking officer. Otherwise, you're out of here, buddy.
Oh.
You are out.
Yeah, I'll cuff you and stuff you. I'll put you in prison.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
Do it.
All right. Little test.
Little test.
You say this, buddy, I'll give you all the respect and honor. I'll give you all kinds of respect.
All right.
Nip it! Nip it in the bud!
Oh, good grief. This is stupid.
Do it.
Stick it in the mud. Stick it in the mud.
That is not deputy language.
What did you
Nip
say?
it! Nip it in the bud!
Oh, tiddly cuddly. Let me hear you say this.
What?
If you're a deputy,
I am.
you wouldn't even make a good dipstick. I want you to say this and try to be serious about this.
I'm very serious.
Listen. This is Rush. Oh, Pico Green, Collies, and the Fat Bunny. You got your ears on?
How's you standing, my kids? This is Rush Goofy Goofy. Go my.
Fat Bunny.
Jump.
Oh, golly. It's pathetic.
I got it though, didn't I?
No,
Huh?
you didn't even get it. Try this. I'll give you something simple.
All right.
All right, you Duke boys. Pull it over. Doesn't want to cuff you and stuff you.
I get that one. That's what you look.
Oh, I did not.
All right, you Duke boys, pull it over. Before I get you, I'm out of here.
He's breaking the mic. I can't play the guitar now.
You couldn't play it before.
No. Listen, I'm leaving because you can't do the job, and I'm not going to mess with you anymore. Thank you all very much for inviting me down.
What a number of years, you have seen James Bass somewhere. I've seen him on Bonanza. I've seen him on the Paladin Show. Have Gun Will Travel. I've seen him on Twilight Zone. You name it, he's been there. He's been doing it a long time, and he's worked with every big name in the show business industry, and he's one of them too. And we were blessed to have him here tonight. Let's let him hear it one more time. I don't even know that I can contain myself with this next performer, but y'all just gonna have to be the judge. Bring him on with a big round of applause, Pink Floyd!
I had one little song I want to sing for you. Hail to thee, Miss Mayberry. Oh, hail to thee, oh, hail. Your loveliness, your majesty, brings joy to every man. Oh, hail. Well, that's about as far as I've gotten on that one so far. I said that's about as far as I've gotten on that one. I've written for tonight, and I'm going to bring out some backup group for me. So it's Pink Floyd and the Cutups. So would you have the Cutups come out, please? Come out from here. Well, there's only one, Mike. Here they are. Come on, Cutups. There he comes. There he is. You got something to say there?
I just wanted to tell y'all I'm tickled pink to be here. And I heard it was a formal crowd, so I wore my tails tonight.
All right. Are you ready, guys?
Go for it.
Let's go for it. Ready? Shop in Mayberry, where there are two chairs, and it's a place where many young boys have given up their hair. Now, boy, I will give you the words with which hazel if you want it. And if I ever get another barber, I got the magazines to swing it.
that organ out of that guitar.
It just sounds Thank you. There's another verse, but we're not singing that.
Sing it, Floyd.
There is a shop in Mayberry
Oh, yeah.
where there are two chairs. And it's a place where many young boys have given up their hair. Look at his shaggy in the background there. We need to barbershop. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for the band,
Pink Floyd.
Oh, me. So that was Pink Floyd and the Cutups following James Best and David Browning. Folks, those are the kind of things that happened during Mayberry Days at Col Tim's and also at other Mayberry events. We have several Mayberry events where we have several of the tribute artists appearing. And if we get to do a stage show or something, it's that kind of craziness that happens, and it's always so hard to try to explain to someone what happens during Mayberry Days. So if you were able to watch this, you'll be able to see some of that. If you weren't able to watch it, you're at least hearing what's going on. And in that shot, Ernest T. Bass, Phil Lee, was dressed up in a pig outfit that he had found backstage and was wearing it around during the show. And so it was a pink thing. So he was tickled pink to see us. He said that at one point. There's all the stuff that's going on stage. The only directions that were given were, hey, you guys come out behind me and you can be the Cutups. I'm going to sing this song. You do whatever you want to behind me. And if you watch, you will see that they did do whatever they wanted to behind me. They were playing giant plastic yellow scissors. They were playing them like instruments, and then they started fencing with them. Otis and Opie and Barney was playing his up there with me. I had a giant, if you didn't see the video, I had a giant barber pole that had scissors on it that made a guitar, basically, and that's what I was playing. So a lot of fun. And wow, James and David, what about that, guys? Some of the folks in the chat room were talking about the line he used. You wouldn't even make a good dipstick that James said to Barney. Wow, guys, it's just every time I saw that routine and every time I've seen it, it was different, right? So we always laugh because there's always something new. It's always something different. I definitely encourage you, if you have an opportunity, to come to one of the Mayberry events. Come out and see us and just enjoy yourself, because you're going to see things like what you've been seeing or hearing the last few weeks. Those are the kind of things that go on. The tribute artists do a lot of really fun stuff. Of course, the cast members are always delightful. So if you get a chance, come out and see us. We've got some shows coming up soon. We've been reporting on them. Granville, Tennessee, a big one down in Scottsburg, Indiana in the summer. We got a smaller one over in Valley Head, Alabama in May. So check out the event calendar at imayberry.com for all the details. All right, guys, let's go and do a little bit of Mayberry trivia. All right, are you guys ready? Get your pencils and paper and ready to go. Here we go with question number 1. It's a true or false question. Emmett was divorced from his wife. True or false? True or false? Emmett was divorced from his wife. True or false? Okay, a little bit of time to think about it. This is color episodes, obviously, so some of us are not as good at color. You need to watch them. You got to learn the stuff. All right, last read and the answer. Emmett was divorced from his wife. The answer is false. That is false. He was not divorced from his wife. All right. Question number 2. What was Emmett's last name? It's going to be hard if you don't know the color episodes at all. What was Emmett's last name on the Andy Griffith Show? What was his name? We're not talking about Andy's friend Emmett in real life, but what was Emmett's last name? The answer, and you can pause if you don't want to hear it, okay? His name was Clark. His last name was Clark. Emmett Clark. All right, question number 3. Question number 3. What was the name of Andy and Barney's high school yearbook? What was the name of Andy and Barney's high school yearbook? That's some good music. Thank you to the VW Boys for our background music. You can check them out at vwboys.com. Thank you, Tim White. What was the name of Andy and Barney's high school yearbook? The answer is The Cutlass. The Cutlass was the name of it. Okay, The Cutlass. Number 4. Who carved their initials into the town cannon? This is question number 4. Who carved their initials into the town cannon? Okay, I can give you a little help on this, and you can figure it out maybe from that. This is A, B, C, or D. Was it A, Teddy Roosevelt? Was it B, Tracy Baldinger? Was it C, Tracy Rupert? Or was it D, Tracy Rocker? What is the answer? Who carved their initials into the town cannon? The answer is C, Tracy Rupert. Tracy Rupert. Yeah, so how you doing? Okay, we're halfway through. All right, number 5. Number 5. Andy bowled a 300-point game. True or false? Andy bowled a 300-point game. True or false? Do you know the answer? Last read, and I give you answers. True or false? Andy bowled a 300-point game. The answer is false. It is false. That is false. So now that we've narrowed it down, who did once bowl a 300-point game? Now that we've narrowed it down. Boy, we're a lot of color episode things on this one. Who once bowled a 300-point game? Folks are in the chat room getting it. Final read. Who once bowled a 300-point game? The answer? It was Howard Sprague. Howard did. All right, number 7. How did Sarah's mama hurt her hip? Oh, wow. This is a hard one. I do not know this one. How did Sarah's mama hurt her hip? Okay, I'm giving you a chance to think about this one if you might know that. How did Sarah's mama, the operator, how did she hurt her hip? Folks in the chat room are saying they thought that 300 points was bad. Well, that's only in golf. In golf, that would be bad. But in bowling, that's perfect. All right, so how did Sarah's mama hurt her hip? Now, I need more than she fell down. She fell down in the bowling alley. That is the answer. She fell down in the bowling alley. So I think the bowling alley actually made it the thing, right? Because we already did 2 bowling questions. I was trying to help you. She fell down at the bowling alley. All right, number 8. Who taught Aunt B to drive a car? Who taught Aunt B to drive a car? This is multiple choice, but I'm not going to give you multiple choice because you should know. Who taught Aunt B to drive a car? The answer is Goober. Goober did. Goober taught her to drive the car. Yeah, it was Goober. Oh, man, that is a great job. Good job, Goober, teaching Aunt B. He did not teach her to fly, however. That was not him that did that. So how'd you do? We had 8 questions. Did you get them all? Did you get some of them? And did you have a good time? That's really what it's about, right? And hopefully, guys, you have had a good time tonight. That is the goal every time we do a podcast here, is for you to maybe learn a little bit about the Andy Griffith Show that you didn't know, or get to see something you've never seen. Many of you would have never have seen the Col Tims from 2002 that we've been showing the last few episodes. I hope you have been enjoying it. I've had some questions about whether you can buy those videos, and no, you can't buy them. There's no way to get them other than watching them here on the podcast. So I hope you're enjoying getting to watch them. Let's see. I feel like there was something else I was going to tell you guys tonight, but I don't have any idea what it was. So let me look and see if I've got something up here showing. I want to invite you guys, if you haven't, to make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast version, the video version of this podcast over on YouTube. They've added a new feature over on YouTube now that's called Podcasts. But so far I haven't seen my podcast show up in it, but it'll show every episode. There's a playlist called 2 Chairs No Waiting if you go to my YouTube channel. If you go to, I think it's youtube.com/@Alan Newsome. It's ALLAN Newsome, NEWSOME. If you go to that and look for the playlist called 2 Chairs No Waitings, you can listen to watch every episode of 2 Chairs No Waitings video versions of the podcast in reverse order. So they'll go from the newest one backwards. So you can go and watch all of them, or listen to every one of them if you'd like to, as you're playing around on your computer, something like that. So, but they're supposed to be adding that, so I think that. So, hey, go and like and subscribe over on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Several of you guys don't. I know that because I don't see you there. And you can also go over to facebook.com/2chairs and follow us there as well. And if you're a listener to the podcast, there's a Facebook group you could be a part of as well if you'd like to, where you can interact with one another easier on there. So, folks, there are so many things and so many ways to try to stay in touch and to be a part of this podcast and the Mayberry community. Go out there and find one of them, because while we have a great time, the folks in the chat room, I love the chat room that we have on Monday nights. If you'd like to be a part of that, you can come and join us live at 2chairsnowaiting.com on Monday nights. And they have a great time visiting with one another. There's about 46 people in there right now visiting with one another. That's a great start, but there are so many other places where you can interact with fellow Andy Griffith Show fans, from going to events to online things like the Facebook pages, the iMayberryCommunity.com site, there's just all kinds of ways to get connected with fellow fans of the Andy Griffith Show, and I definitely encourage you to try to do that. So, folks, I would love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415 and let me know what you think about the podcast. Are you enjoying the video versions? I've kind of been slow about showing the video versions of the podcast because everybody doesn't watch the video. More people listen than watch. So I kind of hate showing you things. These, I think, work fine like that, but just video versions are a little hard. But folks, I do really appreciate you taking time to be here and watch this. I'd like to hear from you. Like I said, give me a call at 888-684-8415. You can email me at floyd@imayberry.com. Until next week, everybody, have a great week, and we'll see you right here on 2 Chairs.